Well, if you think about it, no deal actually means many deals. Because if you don't have a deal where you're tied into a customs union with the EU, it frees you up to do many trade deals with the rest of the world. The problem with the Chequers deal is that we can't really leave the EU until the EU tell us we can leave. And whilst we're in that position and we're held to ransom by the EU, we can't do deals with anyone else. So no deal actually really means many deals, and the Chequers deal means no deal.
Wouldn't it have been better then, from the very beginning, that politicians were just a little bit more straightforward with us, that there were two options in essence on the table? You can have all the free trade agreements that you want, all the separation from the European Union, but in essence you're going to have a hard border in Ireland, or the opposite. If you want to, you'll have to have, if you want to avoid that, you have to have closer ties with Europe than perhaps many of the 17.4 million who voted for Brexit would actually appreciate.
Well, if you actually go back to what the people voted for, I actually think they voted, in a sense, for no deal, because David Cameron tried to do a deal with the EU. He came back to the people and said, look, they've offered us this deal. It's a pretty hopeless deal. So I'm going to throw it out to you. What do you want to do? Should we leave or should we stay? And people voted to leave. And it was on the basis of there not being a deal. A deal was never a prerequisite. It was only ever going to be a bonus. And yes, it'd be great to do a free trade deal. I think the EU actually really want to do a free trade deal with us. They're doing it with Canada, with Japan. I think they'd want to do it with us. But it's a question of how you get to that point.
Why are so many people, though, who are looking at no deal, why are they so sanguine about WTO rules? I mean, part of the reason that so many people voted to leave the European Union was that you had a group of faceless bureaucrats dictating rules to us. Well, you're just swapping one set for another, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't think people really understand it. You know, in my own business, okay, we have a smoked salmon business. We export all over the world. We export into the EU and we export to the rest of the world. It's really not that much more complicated exporting to the rest of the world. And in fact, we export far more to the USA, where we don't have, our country doesn't have a trade deal with the US, than we do into Europe. They pay 5% duty on our product in the US, and yet people are buying more of our product over there.